We've got a strange one here, folks. I've just seen this article on Boxing Scene, and it says that Nicholas Walters returned to the ring on Saturday the 25th, so Saturday just gone, after nearly 6.5 years out of the ring. And now, this isn't groundbreaking news by any stretch, but I'm almost amazed, just because Nicholas Walters seemed to disappear off the face of the earth. This guy dipped. He left the chat real quick following his fight before last against Lomachenko in November 2016. And yeah, apparently he's made some kind of comeback. He was fighting a Colombian fighter in Colombia. I haven't seen the fight because I don't even think it was televised. But I just saw this this headline and I was like, what? What's going on? Some of you may not even know who Nicholas Walters is. I imagine most of you do, but for those of you who don't, maybe you're newer boxing fans. Nicholas Walters was a featherweight champion, and a good featherweight champion. He was a fighter with a lot of ability, some good skills, very good puncher, and he lost to Lomachenko in, I think it was the 26th of November 2016, because I remember it was a week after the Kovalev-Ward first fight. He lost to Lomachenko, and as I say, he just disappeared. He left the chat real quick. And this got me thinking. I saw this headline, and I just casted my mind back to 2016, because obviously it's November, it's coming towards the end of the month, and we've got Kovalev versus Ward, the first fight, which was the fight that seemed to be the most exciting for that year. I think it was really seen as the highest level fight. So it was the one that a lot of people were looking forward to, a lot of boxing fans coming towards the end of the year. And it was seen as a very evenly matched, very close fight on paper. And it actually unfolded that way as well. Ward won, 12-round unanimous decision. On all the judges' scorecards, he won by 1 point. And many people felt like Kovalev won. So close fight on paper, close fight in reality. Nicholas Walters versus Lomachenko was the next week on the 26th. Once again, seen as a very close fight on paper. And a lot of people were picking Nicholas Walters to win. They thought that he was going to be the man to give Lomachenko a second defeat. And it couldn't have unfolded any differently, because it was probably one of the most one-sided fights I've ever seen. Lomachenko just completely bamboozled, just tied Nicholas Walters up in knots. And Nicholas Walters quit in the 7th or 8th round, I think. So he went a few rounds, but then he just said, no more, no mass. And that at this point, Lomachenko was really starting to catch fire. Like, he moved up to super featherweight, and I think he had one fight at super featherweight before that, which was what's the guy's name? Rocky Martinez. I always get this guy's name mixed up, but yeah, Roman Martinez. And he blasted Martinez. He caught them with this uppercut right hook combo as Martinez was moving away, and just floored him, just actually sparked him out. And that was for the WBO super featherweight title, and then he defended it for the first time against Walters. And now Walters, the way he quit was quite shocking to a lot of people, because, and this is a bit of a generalization, but he's obviously of Jamaican descent. He is Jamaican, based in Panama. And over the years, Jamaican fighters have had a bit of a history, almost a bit of a culture of being really tough, both physically and mentally. And the way that Nicholas Walters quit was just a bit of a shock to the system, because you thought, okay, even if he loses, he's probably going to go out swinging and make it dangerous for however long it lasts. Because in this generalization, which it is based in some reality, because I'm sure there are those of you who know Jamaicans in real life, and they typically tend to be tough people, at least of a certain generation. Like, you've got Jamaican people who are born in the UK or born in the US, not so much, but if they're from Jamaica, they tend to be quite tough, of a certain generation, as I say. If you look at some of the Jamaican fighters of past and present, got Dylan White these days. And yeah, Dylan White's not the best heavyweight, but he's a tough guy. He's a tough guy mentally. He's a tough guy physically. Maybe not so much these days, but, you know, he's still in there. You know, he still wants to get stuck in. Obviously, other heavyweights like Razor Ruddock, another very tough guy mentally and physically, stood up to Tyson in the ring and outside the ring. Once again, not the best, but certainly a dangerous guy. Who else? I've got all like heavyweights coming to my mind, but you got guys like Mike McCallum, not a heavyweight, but very tough guy, very skilled guy as well, underrated Mike McCallum. Lennox Lewis, yeah, not born in Jamaica, I don't think, but of Jamaican descent. So plenty of fighters from Jamaica, typically very tough. But then the way that Nicholas Walters just gave in, he caved in. And yeah, after the fight, I remember seeing a clip, if I haven't mentioned this already. I saw a clip of him talking to Lomachenko after that fight. And you could just tell by the way that he was talking to Lomachenko that he had been physically and mentally dominated. And I wouldn't be surprised if that scared him from boxing in all reality. Or maybe he just made enough money and he was like, you know what, I'm not a champion anymore, but I made a decent amount of coin off of this Lomachenko fight. I don't need boxing anymore. And maybe that money's run out and he's making a comeback for financial reasons. I don't know. But yeah, it was always just strange because he didn't even, in that Lomachenko fight, he hadn't even taken as much punishment as other Lomachenko opponents. I don't even really remember him taking that much punishment at all. He seemed so frustrated because he was getting hit with his shots by Lomachenko, which weren't particularly big shots, but he just couldn't land anything. And obviously Nicholas Walters was a puncher. He was called the Axeman for a reason because he'd chop you down, but he just couldn't land. Lomachenko was like a ghost in that fight, and I think it really unsettled him and shook him to his core to the point where he's been out of the ring for 6.5 years. So yeah, this isn't groundbreaking news by any stretch. It just kind of pricked my interest seeing the headline and just thinking, what? Nicholas Walters is actually still on this planet? Because this guy, when I say he disappeared. But yeah, that's all I've got to say on this one. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Why is Nicholas Walters coming back? And do you think he can do anything, or is he just going to be kind of resigned to fighting in these South American backwaters? Let me know, and I'll catch you in the next video.